What's up stitches, my name is Smikle and welcome to or back to my YouTube channel. This video is part 2 of a, I think 4-part series of me recreating the Among Us crewmate but life size. In this video I'm going to be showing you how I did the body and stuffed the body of the crewmate. If you haven't seen part 1, that's where I made the legs. Go check that out, I've linked that up here, I think. So go check that out so you know where we're up to at the moment. If you like this sort of video where I recreate different things in knitting, then hit that like button so I know what you guys like seeing. And if you're looking forward to the extra parts, I think I'm going to do the backpack slash life support slash jetpack thing and the visor in 2 separate videos. So if you're looking forward to those, subscribe. And if Instagram's your thing, I have an Instagram where I post different updates of everything I'm knitting, and that's at SmikleGoesKnitting. This video is not a tutorial. I will be bringing out a tutorial once I've finished making the life size one, just so I don't have too many things going on at once. So again, if you're looking forward to that, make sure that notification bell is on so you don't miss that upload so you can make one for yourself. I will write up the pattern for it, and that will be available for free because I think the creators haven't put out their policy on selling stuff, and I just want you guys to be able to create your own Among Us crewmate. I'm known to waffle, so I don't want to make this introduction too long, so without further ado, let's get into the video. So to start off on the body, what I'm doing now is I'm just casting on a number of stitches so that I can connect the 2 legs together finally. So I'm using the backwards loop method and I am just casting on a good amount of stitches there. And now I'm just putting the other leg back onto the needles so I can knit them round to where I cast on the stitches. So now I'm just knitting round to where the cast on stitches are to join the legs on the other side. Here I am using the pick up and knit method to pick up the stitches from the cast on edge on the other side. So I'm going between the stitches and picking up from there to try and get the same number cast on. One thing I struggle to do is I always end up picking up too many, so on the next round what I'm going to do is just knit 2 together on either side so that we get the right number of stitches. And this leads us to the most fun part of this project. If you couldn't tell, I was being sarcastic. It is the over 100 rows of straight stockinette stitch in the round, so it's just the knit stitch all the way around forever. I'm obviously joking, but it is a lot of rounds of stockinette, so instead of showing you me knitting all of the rounds, I'm gonna skip some of that because I have many rounds of stockinette to complete, and that will probably be very boring for you to watch. So here's a little time-lapse thing. Now, as you can see by the exasperated look on my face, I'm running out of yarn. And I have this bralette that I love the design, but I don't wear because the wool's a bit scratchy. So I decided to frog it, and I thought I'd show you guys the process of me frogging it because I think it's quite satisfying to watch, even though it's heartbreaking to unravel something that you have spent ages working on. So as you can see from this terribly filmed clip, I have done it all. So now all I have to do is place 5 stitch markers evenly spaced throughout the stitches so I can then start decreasing for the top of the head. Now I actually ended up changing my mind about how I was going to do the decreases on the top of the head. What I started doing and what I'm showing you here is just before the marker, I slip knit, slip the marker, then I knit 1 stitch and then I knit 2 together, so each stitch marker I'm decreasing 2 stitches. I did that for probably 10 rounds before I decided I wanted to stuff the crewmate. When I started this crewmate, I realised that I only had 1 bag of stuffing, and I knew that I would need to buy more. But I just wanted to see how far this 1 bag would get me. And as you can probably tell, 1 bag of 250 grams of toy stuffing is not enough. It does the legs barely, so yeah, I needed to buy more. And at this point I also realised I was running dangerously low on yarn. So it was time to head to the interwebs to buy more yarn and lots of stuffing so that I could eventually finish this crewmate. So you're probably wondering how much stuffing I bought. Well, I realised I needed to buy lots of stuffing so that I could stuff this entire thing if one bag only did one leg. And you can probably tell from the size of this box that I did buy a lot of stuffing. I ended up buying 8 250-gram bags of stuffing, and I bought another 800 grams of yarn. And because how often do you get this opportunity, I decided to do this. It was a lot of fun. It was worth it. And now here's a montage of me stuffing this crewmate. It took me an entire evening, which is why the lighting keeps going a bit crazy. I worked on it for quite a long time. Now I've stuffed most of the crewmate, I'm going to continue closing up the top. And as I mentioned earlier, I decided to change my mind on how I wanted to do this. So instead of continuing doing the slip slip knit, knit one, knit two together, I decided that I was going to do it a bit differently, like how I had been doing some of the hats that I've been knitting. So it was loads of different rounds of increases, and I think it was like a knit two together and then knit two together, knit two, and then just like reducing that down until I got to this point where I thread the yarn onto a needle and I took all the stitches, put them onto that yarn and just kind of weaved in the top kind of somehow. I'm not sure if I'm doing this right, but it ended up looking fine. And there we have it, the completed body of the life-size crewmate. Now, I'm sitting on a yoga ball currently, and you can just see the top of his head. This actually does measure the 3 foot 6 inches. I'll just hold it up so you can see the legs straight to the top. It's hefty. It's a hefty one. I ended up using 7 250-gram bags of toy stuffing. So hopefully I've got enough for the backpack and the visor. I should do. I should have enough. And then enough to stuff the crewmate for the tutorial I'm making. But this is what we have so far. He's a little bit lumpy because I'm not 100% at stuffing things and I was quite impatient. So I didn't do it in the smaller chunks that you're supposed to stuff them in, but it's still massively cuddly. And I think the weight of the life-size crewmate from the game is something like 92 pounds. This is definitely not 92 pounds, but it's still quite heavy. It's quite life-size. I have played a prank on my boyfriend when he was coming home late from work, and I put this on his computer chair and dressed it up in his hoodie and some tracksuit bottoms, and that was fun. That was a good laugh. But yeah, this is what we have finally. I have done a couple of things to it that I didn't show on camera. So in the crotch area there was a couple of holes just here where I cast on the new stitches. So to fix that I literally just got some yarn, tied a knot and then weaved in the ends, so that was really easy. And on the feet, this had a little hole here. I just weaved some extra spare yarn through the cast on edge, pulled it tight and then put it in a knot. And that was done. It's very nice to cuddle. It's very big. I don't know where we're going to put it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it once it's finished. If you guys have any idea, I still haven't finished it, but I put so much work into it. I don't obviously just want to like give it to someone. But it's it's quite big and I'm not blessed with space. In the next video I'm going to be giving this a bit more character. I'm going to be doing the jetpack / backpack. So if you're looking forward to that, please do subscribe so you don't miss out the uploads. And if you like this sort of video, give it a like. That helps me know what you guys like to see. I haven't put anything up about this on Instagram yet, but if you use Instagram and you want to follow me, it's at SmikleGoesKnitting. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Stay wholesome and happy knitting. This is really funny because I've basically got it like sat on my knee like it's a child. It's basically the same height as a child. It's only 2 foot shorter than me. This is ridiculous. Why did I do this?